Very nice to have you all. Welcome to day 2 of the 6th annual of Jewelry Ecom. Very nice to have everybody here. For people who don't know me, I'm from Montreal, Canada, proud Canadian. I grew up around jewelry all my life. I am the jewelry copywriter that loves this industry inside out. And you guys are gonna have fun today with me. I'm gonna share a few tips how to write better product descriptions for your amazing creations, and also a few SEO tips related with that. So you guys can get the most value out of it. And I hope you enjoy it. So if everyone is ready, we can start. So first things first, of course, by basics, what's a product description, right? So as you know, a product description is your marketing copy that explains, what your jewelry is about, and if it's worth purchasing, from a customer's perspective. And the main purpose of a product description is to supply clients with key and information, aesthetic features and benefits that they will get from buying your product.
Hey, hi, sorry to interrupt. Is that your music? Is that from the presentation?
Yeah, hold on, let me just turn that up.
Are thrown
Yeah,
off.
sorry.
I just wanted to make sure it wasn't a guest's music.
No,
over your presentation.
Yeah, that was
cool,
me.
Man.
That was me just setting
the mood. Got to set the tone. Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, because we're gonna be, that has to do a lot of creativity.
You gotta set the mood, man. Yeah.
Yes. I hope can anybody hear my voice better than the background music? That's what I want to make sure, This is good.
Important. This is good now.
Perfect.
Cool.
So now that we understand what product descriptions are, it goes on for any product that's in the marketplace, whether it be electronics or whatnot. But jewelry plays a specific role, because we all know that jewelry can be expensive for the customer. So it has to incite trust. They have to make sure that they're making the right decision. So having the right jewelry description makes a hell of a difference. And let's continue from here. Now, what does it mean for jewelry? What it means, very simple. It is an opportunity for you to echo detailed information concerning your jewelry's aesthetic features specifically, while evoking emotions from potential buyers. And while you do that, it's very important that you use your brand's unique voice, so it can spark the level of interest and desirability towards your product. It's very important that you stay original when you come up with that. That's what it means for jewelry. So in today's presentation, what I want to do is I want to touch and go over a few fundamental rules regarding how to write jewelry descriptions, what mistakes to avoid, and the difference between emotional description and rational description. So let's get it on. What is the number one rule in writing fine jewelry descriptions? Well, it's to be original, precise, and clear-cut when choosing words. That's right, and especially original. And what is the end goal of product descriptions? So what's the destination? Where are we trying to reach? The idea is to have, number one, SEO friendly and well-structured title product description. I will get to the title part later on. Two things here. Number one, to ease your level of discoverability in search engine results. The person searching could be your next customer, right? And number two is to flare their level of desire towards the jewelry piece in question, which could be number one for some people, depending on where you stand. Are you high jewelry? Are you retail? It's different for everybody. So like I said before, there are two types of jewelry description. There is the emotional and there's the rational. And I'm going to break down what the difference is between the two. Because I know a lot of people think that writing jewelry descriptions is kind of like, it's one rule fits for all. It's not really the case. And it's very important to understand these two different worlds. And there's also a third one, which is a combination of both emotional and rational. So we're going to break down each in detail. Number one, emotional description. Emotional description, it implies using words that will incite the shopper to go head over heels for your jewelry. And when you do that from a copywriting perspective, like make sure you skip repetitive words such as like beautiful, lovely, and gorgeous. You know, those have been overused. You want to go with original. Instead, like go for words like lavish, splendid, chic, alluring, graceful, sparkling, fashion forward, majestic. This is just top of my head example, just to name it. The idea is to give, you know, like a clear description of your item and tickle emotions from the potential buyer. And remember that when you choose the correct objectives, your buyers will literally like fall in love with your product. If you want a good example with this, there's a Swiss brand called Bogosian. They kill it with that. I mean, studying the dictionary, I don't remember the last time someone used the word tantalizing. You know, it's a word that means that you are so attracted to something that your curiosity level is so hard that you must know about it, and they are very good at that. So don't go with everybody's using. Be original and find very, very, very original words. Here's an example. Hagopian jewels. They're from the Middle East. This is a client of mine. Here's a product description. I'm just going to read it off to you guys so you really get an example of what the emotional description is. Spur a happy-go-lucky stance with our frisky girl puppet necklace. Her dress and arms are amiably accented with brilliant cut diamonds tipped with a round black Tahitian pearl as the head, flush set in 18-karat white gold. A handmade delicate piece that embodies self-control and utmost confidence for the female puppeteer in you. So you see, there is wordplay. As you can see, the copy directly reflects to the physical description of the piece. This is part of a collection called Puppeteer, and it triggers emotions. It's more focused on the emotional part. Let's continue. An example, number two, Anushka, they're from the UK. Now, this is not a product description, but it's a collection description. Let me break it down. An ornate collection of hand-painted 18-karat gold butterflies, epitomizing carefree spirit of summer and the effortless femininity which characterizes Anushka's design. So right away, they are enforcing their brand identity and doing good practice with them. So this is an example of what the emotional description would look like. Move on to rational. Rational leans like it errs more on the logical aspect rather than emotional. You know, it's in the jewelry world, there are consumers who possess a rational buying motive, and they are more concerned about like straightforward aspects like product price, overall quality, usefulness, how sturdy it is, how safe it is if someone has like skin allergy and things like that. So rational buyers are gonna be more triggered with straightforward aspects such as these. And customers who are targeted by rational jewelry descriptions, they'll be presented with copy that's depicting more straightforward and minimalistic approach. It will focus more on the physical attributes, and like they want to know what's the material that was used for creating the product. So goldsmiths, an example from the UK again. Very simple, as you can see, it's short and sweet. Let me read it off to you guys. This delicate necklace from the Mappin and Webb Gaussmaster collection is adorned with a total of 0.24 carat, 5-round brilliant cut diamonds suspended on a Gaussmaster light sterling silver chain. The chain is 46 centimeters, 18 inches long. And that's it. As you can see, short, sweet, to the point. You know, I don't see any poetry in there. You know, it doesn't, it doesn't try to like pull me in with my emotions, desirability. But this is another style, and it works. You know, this is especially good for retail jewelers or retailers that get pieces from wholesalers, and they just they have to put a description together. This is an example. So it depends on your type of brand and type of business. Let's move on. Now, how do you combine emotional and rational description, right? Because that's it's a special potion when you do that. I'll tell you guys how. By balancing reason and emotion, you know, the connotative language, the wording structure that sparks the reader to experience emotion while clearly understanding what the product is made of. Because there are some people that, like, no matter how much beautifully you write your copy, they're going to put their focus on like what your product is about, like platinums, gold, how many carats. So this is a fair balance between the two. Now that you understand emotional and rational, you need to write product descriptions that'll combine both in order to satisfy your customers. But both emotional and material desire. And of course, the legendary American brand, one of my favorites, Tiffany. Let me read this one off for you, and I'm going to read it off so you can really understand from a consumer's perspective. Expertly crafted and distinctly modern, this wide X-ray is designed in highly polished 18-karat rose gold, rational, and complemented with over 25 headset diamonds. Wearable emblems inspired by the Roman numerals on the iconic clock at the New York flagship store. The Atlas X collection is a reminder to take time into your own hands and treasure what matters most. This stackable ring looks just like a sleek worm solo as it does pair with other Atlas X rings. So, as a consumer myself, because I love jewelry, no matter how much I write about it, I buy jewelry myself. The first time I read this, and why, guys, I want to put this example out there is I can swear to you, like I visited New York City one time in my life. But after reading this product description, I can guarantee you next time I visit New York City, like I want to see that flagship store, like I want to see that iconic plug. I want to see what it's all about. So an example here with great copywriting, Tiffany, is that not only they were able to create a hybrid of both emotional and rational, but they were able to create an emotion of, and like an invitation, an inviting emotion, like they want you to visit their flagship, and that's really the feeling that you get from this, and they did a pretty damn job doing it. So let's move on. Now let me break it down. 10 tips for better product descriptions and jewelry. Number 1, describe the item's visual appearance in detail. And when I say detail, guys, like literally details, Put a few examples here, like the images that you see. The first one has, like nautical elements, east, west. It's really important to use the right wording that's going to paint a picture for your customer. No matter how much they see it in the imagery on the website, the imagery speaks for itself. But having really, if there's a specific swirl, a specific curve or whatnot into your design, you have to mention it. It's very, very important. Number 2, provide fashion advice with clothing. This goes more into those that are into fashion jewelry. For example, necklaces, pendant. For example, if you have that you have a bold necklace that look nice on a décolleté look, this is a good area to explore. So you kind of like, you know, you make the consumer envision how would they look like wearing that piece. You know? Number three, give them mix and match tips with other accessories, and those could be like collection, you know, like collections that you already have that complement. For example, they pick a piece and you think it makes sense to pick their interest to go with another piece that would suit that piece particularly. This is an example. Number four, keep the word count between 40 and 100. Very, very, very important, guys. Like, you have no idea how many times I've seen websites with product descriptions like this long, you know? Like this long. Felt like I was, you know, reading an article on CNBC or something. You know? No one likes that. Not good. That's not the place to do that. Keep it short, concise, and it has to be meaningful. So 40 and 100 is a good rule. If you want my own perspective, 60 is the best. Number five, specify the type of metal, gemstone used, and purity scales. That has to do more with rationality, but it's still important. People want to know right away from what they're buying and what they're investing in, because in the long run, if you think about it, jewelry is an investment. Number six, use easy to read fonts. Now, this is more of a UI UX advice, but it's very important. Like, I've seen like e-shops where, you know, like people present their products, it's amazing products, but they're using like hand brush fonts, try to make things look more artistic, but it doesn't work, you know, because you kind of like have to like zoom in to try to read that stuff, and that will lose you potential sales. Number seven, is it handmade or not? That's very important, because we're living in times right now where, you know, the traditional I'm Armenian by ethnicity, you know, Armenians, Jews, we like jewelry, it goes back into our blood, you know, and there's a thing right now that the homebred handmade jeweler is very rare to find. So if you build things by hand, and it's something that you definitely have to describe, you know, because it makes a difference, you know, and there's a certain prestige into that. So if you create things by hand, very important to mention. Number eight, can it be engraved with a message or initials? Very important. If it's, you know, if it's something that allows for, you know, personalization, especially for those who provide custom services, you know, very important to mention, right? Because it might be a gift, and they want to know that before. They want to know if it's possible to have a certain writing, a certain message or initials. If you have that, you know, make sure that it can be read into the description part. Number nine, mention it's part of a collection. Very, very important. You know, that's cross-selling. That's you know, just adding another layer to your sell part, because if you have amazing earrings and you know you have a matching necklace that goes with that, or a matching ring, you know, it would be unresponsible for you to not, you know, at least let them know that, hey, by the way, if you love these earrings, we have a matching necklace, and, you know, matching the ring that goes with that. Very important. Number 10, always use words to uplift the buyer's motivation. That should be number one. So let's move on, guys. So you have your product description and you have your specifications where you can state, you know, more details about, like, you know, like, metal used, type of gemstone, diameter, thickness, chain length, stone setting method, pendant size, and information about the 4Cs. It's really important to distinguish both, you know, because your product description is the hook. Hook fishing, you know, that's your product description is the hook. The rest should be under your specifications. It's that way you could, like focus more on to grabbing their attention with the product descriptions, and the specifications will do the job for those. Here's an example of a bad product description. And please tell me who can guess what the problem is here. I'll give you guys 10 seconds. There's no description at all. And this is from an amazing brand, Jack D'Artagnan. They're based out of Brazil, just to tell you that. So the guy who did the website, they had, predicted a section to have with that description, but I guess somebody didn't do their job. Don't do this mistake, guys. Don't do this mistake. So let's go into SEO tips. 3 SEO tips to write compelling product description that also generate traffic. Number 1, go for keywords you can compete for ranking. Very important. Number 2, target the right SEO product keywords that's relevant to your niche, to your target clientele. So someone that's in the high jewelry is not targeting the same customer than someone that's in a, like retail jewelry that sells wholesale products. You have to understand there's a difference. And number 3, write for buyers, not for bots. This is very, very important. And speaking of SEO, I'm just going to take a pause here just to add some extra value into this call. I'm going to show you guys like really why I'm emphasizing on this. Here's a keyword list I built for a customer. Okay. So it goes, here's a keyword, volumes, this is the number of searches you get per month, cost per click, paid difficulty, if you want to compete with other people who are using PPC, and your SEO organic difficulty level. So all of you have to agree with me that at the present stage, unless you are like K's or Tiffany or a big name, this is a very easy keyword for you to rank in. But for those who are getting started, diamond engagement ring, 65 difficulty, that's very hard. So you can go for things that are much easier. For example, oval cut engagement ring. Look, 5,000 people in the US searching for this. SEO difficulty is 37. By the way, guys, anything under 40, there's a chance to rank for that keyword. If you do custom jewelry, why not punch in custom jewelry near me? 37. You want easier? Let's go easier. What about dream of engagement ring? Okay, it's maybe less than 1,000 people, but how easy it is to rank for that. Very easy to rank for that. Bespoke bridal. These are just examples. The lab-grown engagement ring. 720 people are searching for this. If you're into lab-grown, this is a keyword you should definitely, shoot for. So bespoke jewelry, another one. So the good rule is basically look for sweet spot between high volume and easy to rank organically for SEO difficulty. So let's continue. And this is the most important takeaway that everyone has to remember. Seriously, that everyone wants to rank for a certain keyword. It is important to know what keyword you have a chance to rank for, like realistic. Conclusion: titles and product descriptions are only a piece of the puzzle when it comes to marketing your jewelry online. I truly believe that. So in order to be 2 steps ahead of your rivals, you must have an e-commerce website that's easy to navigate, that has a good social media posting strategy, and a full-fledged SEO strategy that's serving both on-page and off-page. So link building and a strong brand identity that's in sync with your reputation. And that's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for your presence. I'm open to help anyone that needs help with, content writing, content marketing, and please make sure you visit my website. Very happy to have you guys here. I hope you enjoyed this.
Hi, I think we've got a couple questions here in the chat for you.
Yep.
First question, how can you find the paid difficulty versus the SEO difficulty? SEM Rush, or are there other tools?
Honestly, guys, I use Neil Patel's Uber Suggest from my perspective.
Yeah.
Because number one, there's a lot of creative people out there that can't afford SEM Rush, that can't afford, like, I'm a real person. I speak like real facts, like when you get started as a jewelry designer, it could be a hard road sometimes. So I suggest to start with Neil Patel's Uber Suggest. And the difference between the two is SEO difficulty. When we're talking about, if you guys can see my screen here, is what you can rank for already organically. Pay difficulty is the level of how difficult it would be if you paid for this keyword compared to your competition. So if you have 100, you don't have a real guarantee to rank for that keyword. You know what I'm saying? Like here, you guys are looking at my screen. Look, jewelers in Missouri. Okay, just like this pay difficulty is easy. So if you pay for this keyword and you're in Missouri, it's gonna be easier for you to get these 20 people who are searching for jewelers in Missouri. You see what I'm saying? So the idea with pay difficulty is to look for a low number, but with the higher volume. And if you don't, lean towards what's your easy win, which is your organic SEO difficulty. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, that's awesome. Next question is, how much should we expect if we wanted to outsource our jewelry products descriptions? Spencer, are you asking what that would typically cost to hire someone to write descriptions for you? Yeah, cost. So how much would it cost to hire someone to write your product descriptions?
That's a case-by-case scenario. It depends who you're hiring.
Yeah.
If you're hiring generally
wide range.
If you're hiring a generalist copywriter, good luck, because you don't know who you're hiring. I would stay the hell away from like Upwork and Fiverr, because you got, you want to shoot for people who know what they're, who know the game, who know what they're talking about, and know that you can invest into someone that's an expert and a certified professional. And in the stance that I chose jewelry because I grew up around jewelry. I didn't have the chance to go to GIA because I grew up from an immigrant broke family. But the fact that my father was a diamond setter, I would always run into his bench and see what he's doing. And being a creative writer, always having that love, it's something that I merged together. So it's important to invest into someone that cares about the industry, that cares about your brand, that cares about bringing the best possible result from your products, and that's what I would say. It's case by case.
Right on. All right, any more questions, guys? Just drop them in the chat, let us know.
Yeah.
Wait a few seconds if you guys are typing.
No problem. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Previous question is, will you share more examples of descriptions that are between 40 and 100 words, but meet the SEO requirements and are both rational?
Yes. Yes.
He's saying that's difficult to have that many characters and still connect rationally and emotionally also.
Yes. Are you guys still seeing my screen, just to make sure?
Yeah.
Okay. I take you right away to one of my clients' websites, and I'll be very, very pleased to do that, so you guys can get the clear picture. And this is
Lee is asking, yes, Lee, everything is being recorded. So all the sessions from the conference are going to be on our website probably within a week. And any session that you missed, you'll be able to watch right on our site. Emma Alpert is asking, what was the Swiss brand that you mentioned earlier? I think it was these guys, right?
Yes, Hagopian. Yeah, they are from Lebanon. It's one of the, I completely transformed, their brand voice and completely redid the website, whether it's just like the site copy or product descriptions. The way I approach with site copy, I use something called brand story, which basically puts your customer as the hero of a story, and you, the brand, as the hero that has the answer that leads the way. So this is something that I always do. But let me just show you an example of what would be a very good example of rational, emotional, and having a good word count. So number one, guys, look, this is what I would suggest. This is your artistic, okay, title for a product. This is an example. Stellar double pearl ring, right? And it's in a collection that has to do with, like orbiting and stars. Number two, this is your product title. So this will do the job SEO wise. Freshwater double pearl ring with twin round cut diamonds and 18-karat rose gold. So this is going to be helping people to find your product over a Google search. This is your product description. Let's see how much is the word count here, for example, 47. Okay, so not too short, not too long, but right on the spot. Catch the shimmering details of an orbiting freshwater pearls and natural diamonds with this reinvented timeless classic. You know what I'm saying? Our non-pareil, because I'm French also, being from Quebec, I use French words. Double pearl ring, gently sit on your finger, bearing resemblance to a stellar parallax motion, with its twin brilliant round cut diamonds that accentuate extra sparkle to the piece. So this is your product description. This is your SEO friendly that you will always want to have. And this is your product specifications that I mentioned in the presentation today. How many carats, how is it cut, all that good stuff. So if you follow this kind of example, definitely going to stand out.
Right on. Any more questions, guys?
Any more questions, guys? I'm waiting. Any questions? I'm really, really, really happy to answer.
Hi, do you have your contact info here? I think a couple of people are writing to, oh, I actually just got someone else. A few people writing to me asking how much you charge and such. I told them they should probably email you privately and you could talk to them about it. But
guys, please visit my website, jewelrywordsmith.pro. Everything is in there. I just loaded my website. You have it in front of you. You can screenshot. You can write it down. Visit my website. Everything is in there. I have samples of my works that I have done for other clients. I work with clients from Canada, US, Europe, Middle East, China. I work with anybody. I love the industry. I care about, the diamond in the dirt that had been found. If you're a, jewelry designer that's looking for, combining with, forces with someone that really cares for your products and just can't get the words out there, I'm the one. I can help you. Just visit my website. Everything's in there. I would definitely love to help you out with anything that's related to content and SEO.